together? Yeah.
I feel like this dress is very short.
So Heidi, once again, we are back. We are back chatting again in aesthetic laundry. I'm really enjoying all the outfits I've been wearing during the series, and you've been dressing me so well. We're talking about body issues today, and your brand is so good at promoting body positivity, and I want to talk a bit about that because I know there's a history to that and why that's important to you. So,
but yeah, body positivity is a massive factor in the brand and what I want to say with the designs. Like each, when it's been inherent throughout, like from the start when I was at uni, when I wanted my own brand, like 10 or 12 years ago, like ages ago. I had it then and didn't really know what it was, but I just kept saying I want it to fit everyone. And then now, even to this day, like I still want, like we're working on a plan, I can't say now, but we're working on a plan to make it as, it's like, I don't know, hopefully it will revolutionise the industry.
Yeah.
Not bigging it up at all.
That sounds so
But it's
exciting.
quite exciting to make clothes that will fit everybody.
Absolutely.
In the right way. But so a lot of my designs are oversized, and then because I really like the oversized look, because I've always felt bigger, like as in taller and broader and bigger than so making clothes that are bigger, wearing clothes that are bigger make me feel more comfortable because they make me feel smaller. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely. Yeah. And we're both quite tall people anyway as well. So I think we've always had that idea that being tall isn't feminine or it's not ladylike to be. You want to be short and petite and cute.
Yeah. And feel broader.
Yeah. And when you have to get tall clothes, you sometimes feel like, oh God, what's wrong with me? Like, oh, why am I? So you love oversized clothes for that reason. So
that makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
And then the best thing I've noticed about growing the brand in the last 3 years is that I feel confident in oversized clothes, but a lot of people have been buying smaller, or they will buy something and then like swap it for a smaller size because it's too big for them and it makes them feel different. So then it's like, oh, interesting. So now we're reassigning our sizes basically.
Oh, great. Okay.
On a massive matrix. It's really complicated, but
So if people want the option of buying bigger, they just buy a bigger size rather than buy the small that is slightly bigger anyway.
Yeah, because I just didn't want to offer. I realised that I was offering what I thought,
projecting slightly, but I mean, of course you're going to do that. It's your brand, like, and it's coming from here, so it makes sense. But that, in terms of it becoming, a global brand, I guess it makes sense to kind of have a system to the sizes that is,
that can translate over.
Yeah, exactly,
definitely.
So you mentioned, you touched upon a little bit, like you've had a few kind of personal experiences with, your body and how you feel, and because I feel like that's really where this brand is coming from. It's about feeling free in the clothes, it's about feeling confident in the clothes, and you certainly do, and it's about being happy in the clothes too. And I think so much of that feeds into the psychological element of how we feel about ourselves. So I think it's so important to just touch upon it and why this brand is so important.
It was only when I went to therapy, I had like talking therapy for my anxiety, that I realised that a lot of the deep-rooted problems come from my body image and my self-image and self-confidence. And a lot of people think that I'm a really confident person, but actually if you meet me, a lot of the time I'm not. I get very excited and enthusiastic, and when I do get excited, something comes over me and I just don't care who's looking. But then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I'm talking, and then if I'm not, a lot of the time I feel I'm very conscious of what I wear and how I wear it and how things fit, and like everybody is. I've become hyper, and then I just have, we've spoken about this before, how you have those echoes of what people have said to you when you're younger or growing up.
Totally.
I've had, like, when I was young, I remember things people said to me when I was 8 years old. I remember things people said to me when I was 11 years old, when I was 15 years old. Like, when I started sixth form, I was, like size 14, so not like, and I was this tall. I was, not this tall. I was as tall. I'd grown all of my height by the time I was like 14. So when I was at sixth form, and then I remember the boys, because you're obsessed with like boys, or you're obsessed with like your love
and they never like you back, and it's the worst.
Yeah, and then I remember,
especially as they're like this much shorter than you as well, and you're just like, well, you can't fancy me because I'm so much taller than you. Because girls grow faster and quicker. And
do you know what he said to me the first day?
Oh God.
He goes, oh, you're actually really sweet, and like you've got such a soft voice, and you're really like nice. He goes, when I first saw you, I thought you'd just be really butch.
Oh.
That was marvellous.
Yeah, that stuff really
and I was like, oh,
cuts deep.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
And then things like that is just a bit like, oh, okay.
And those comments become the soundtrack of when we're at our lowest point or when we're feeling horrible. Those insecurities are just on loop, and it can be really can shake you a lot. So and this brand is kind of completely standing in the face of that and saying, you know, you can be yourselves, you can be free in these clothes, and you can feel comfortable in these clothes. They're for everyone. And how are you sort of making sure that your brand is for everyone?
So more
inclusive.
Yes, so also in terms of colour too. So I've said it like a billion times, I want aesthetic laundry to be in every household. I want everyone to know it and to want to wear it and it be their go-to. Like,
everyone has laundry, I don't know why they can't have aesthetic laundry.
There you go, make your laundry aesthetic. Anyway, and so I always have something in my collection that will be, so if I'm having a down day or if I don't want to be like a peacock, like and wear like rainbow, or I don't want to wear like multicolour, I'll have the same option in like all black, or I'll wear like all black or navy, or like just like I can blend into the background still, but still with that little quirk, but then if that makes sense. So there's
we all have different facets of ourselves that we want to show on different days, and that makes perfect sense.
So that's how I try and, I don't know, keep it inclusive.
And your sizing as well, you're talking a bit about your sizing. There's quite a range to your sizing as well for that reason too, is that?
Yeah, so there's something oh my gosh, you could never get it right because there's always going to be somebody who needs something different. But
of course, every body shape is different, and
But so we go from a 4 to 6 to then a size 24. So hopefully we're like as inclusive as we can be at this point.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you're still growing as well, and I suppose like as you grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, you can adapt with it and kind of grow your sizes and have extend them that way and extend them that way as your brand grows. It seems to explain why it's so important to you, from what you've just said, the idea of kind of different body types and different sizes and making everyone feel free in your clothes. Do you think there's a reason why other fashion brands haven't caught on to this idea yet? Because I feel like we are all, and when I say we, I mean the general public and what I've gauged from Instagram, all seem to be trying to be really body positive for each other, and that seems to be a really important theme, and other fashion brands don't really seem to be catching on.
I feel like, so I've noticed more and more that all of the fashion brands seem to be like pushing, and the makeup brands too now, there's this huge, there's almost been like a backlash from social media, and then with people like, where's our representation, you're not showing the, so I just think, and there are some fashion brands that are doing it, but that they're just doing it for this season to be part
to tick a box and
to tick a box, and to be in the press. But really, like, that's why I want to talk about it all the time too, because I've been talking about this since day dot. So not saying that I was the first person to do, not at all. Just saying
it's at the core of your brand.
And you don't start by saying, oh no, you don't. Yeah, so we're just trying to not adhere to all of the typical rules of the industry.
Sure.
The big dogs will always take part, and they can do. I don't know what I'm saying here because I don't want to give anything away apart from the matrix of the So they will anything that they can jump on, they will basically. The industry.
And it looks like they've done it first because obviously their marketing team is extensive, and it looks like they're ahead of the game and kind of thing like that. But I love the fact that I know from the start that this was always something that you were gonna promote at every time. And I
tell people all the time, I'm like, oh, it makes you feel better. I always say, like, put a jumper on. If it makes you feel good, that's the one for you. When you put it on and it makes you feel something, makes you feel better, and that's what you should. I don't know,
Totally. And it's not just about the clothing as well. I've noticed that your brand, this extends into your company values as well. The way that you kind of, who you work with and who you employ, they all have the same values about body positivity and about it being a really free and encouraging, positive place to work. So I want to talk a little bit about that because I think that's really special. Yeah,
it's awesome. Even Liv the other day, we were... I was like, oh, I feel a bit this, or I tried something on that was a bit smaller. And Liv was like, no, you look great. Why be worried about your arms? It was either my arms or I can't remember what it was. She was like, yeah, of course. I think it was when we were going to the gym. And I was like, yeah, I'm just worried about this, but I still worry, even though I'm like...
So it was outside the office as well. It wasn't even in work. It was like in your personal time, she's still like bigging you up and building you and
Liv and I live together too.
Yes.
So yeah, we're like
she's like, eat that carbonara, damn it. We need people in our lives like that, and you work with them too, which is great.
No, it's awesome. And yeah, they have to. We have to have a certain level of ethics, and everybody in the team has that. And then if you don't, if you basically, you have to be a nice person and a decent person to work at Aesthetic Laundry. Otherwise, we don't want to work with other people that are not very nice either. So,
so you can be. I guess you can be quite selective about who you work with. You want who you're sharing your brand with to have the same values too. So in terms of you partnering with other companies, is that something you look for as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like we'll go on their social feeds and we'll see how, like, if they're, I don't know, like, you can just tell. We get the vibe very easy and be like, they're on that, they're not on. If they're not, like, they seem as genuine, nice, and there's something honest or there's something pure on their Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're sharing something real rather than, like, we would never go, I get messages like every day from influencers or PR teams that have teams of influencers, you know, like groups of influencers, and then I'm like, no, why? Like, I don't want them to just put on something for an outfit and go, oh, I'm wearing this today, and then tomorrow they'll wear something completely different that's not got the same values as the brand. So then what's the point? Like, we have girls that we like get in from, like, we have like models, or that we'll, because we're a startup, like, it works on like a gifting basis or whatever. And they'll love the brand, so they will come in, do a photo shoot, and then there are like friends and go-to models, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So, like,
you've cultivated a really lovely community of people that care about the brand, are invested in the brand, have the same values as the brand, and that therefore, you know, the cycle continues of just the whole positive ethos behind it, which I think is amazing. I feel like it's important for all of us to be honest about the things we're experiencing, like we are right now, in terms of, you know, body positivity and things like that. Have you kind of found that there's a power in being vulnerable with your, you know, with your customers and within your team as well? Massively.
Like, especially if someone will say, you know what, I bought it and I loved it and I followed the brand for ages and it just doesn't give me that, like, I just don't feel right, can I swap the size? And we were like, of course, like, we need to make sure that you're comfortable, because what's the point in having something that you've like spent money on, your good hard-earned money on, and then you're not going to wear it. So you just want to, And you think there's value in your customers seeing you be really honest about your issues and how you interact with the brand as well. Like, you know, you said we're being honest and vulnerable right now about, you know, you have this kind of these thoughts in your head that, like, oh, I was too tall when I was younger and things like that. We all have those things. Do you think that is really positive for other people to hear? I personally think it is. I think that's obvious, but... Oh, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I don't talk about this. This is really good. I guess the conversation that we're having is good because I feel like sometimes people don't know. They just think... Because you're so confident and bubbly, and that can honestly, like, I think people... see that and think, oh, she must have it sorted, she's got everything like great, and which, you know, I mean, you do, but we're human beings, like, we have moments, like, I do not have anything together and I still have days that I don't feel confident. I still have days, but when you are feeling, you just put on, I love the way that clothes can change the way you feel as well. Absolutely. I always feel happy in Aesthetic Laundry. Not just saying that for You're like camera. An advocate. I love it. I love you and I love the brand. So thank you so much for talking to me again today about body issues. You know, it's a sensitive subject. It's one we all deal with, and I think it's really important that we've had this chat. So thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Oh my God, I'm sorry.